Hello, welcome to DBE TV News, where we bring you the latest from the education sector. You can watch this bulletin every week on the Department of Basic Education's YouTube channel and on OpenView channel 122. Thank you for joining us. My name is Psychosocial Moagi. In our top stories this week, the National Senior Certificate exams begin with no glitches reported. Grade 12 learners pledged to be honest in their final exams. The Bella Bill has been passed in the National Assembly. And girl learners are encouraged to take leadership and be confident. The National Senior Certificate exams have begun with no glitches reported thus far. The Department of Basic Education says it is delighted with how well the first day of the final examinations went. Grade 12 learners sat on the 30th of October to write their first National Senior Certificate exam. The last exam will be on the 3rd of December. Meanwhile, Minister Angie Motshekga was at the Rhodesfield School of Specialization to encourage the candidates to do well in their exams. She also had a walkabout of the school to ensure all is in place to ensure the exams are well administered.
To our learners, we really don't want to make you more anxious. I'm sure you really want to get on with your exams. That's not so. You want to get to it, you want to write, and we're just here to wish you well, to say, even thank you for having started with us this way. You know, most of your friends couldn't survive up to this far. And if you have survived this far, just make it worth it. It doesn't help to stay with us for 12 years and be as good as anyone who left us almost 5 years back. Because if you don't have a matric certificate, except for your birth certificate, there's no scientific or any official evidence that you stayed with us for 12 years. So most of you are about 18 years old, 19 years old, 19 years old. You've stayed with us more than half of your life. So make it worth it. And you know what you should do. I don't want to repeat what your teachers would have said, but just to bring a message to you to say we really care a lot.
Learners from Rhodesfield School of Specialization got a word of motivation from Gauteng Education MEC. They are part of the 717,000 full-time candidates who are writing the NSC exams.
Kusele kancane. Ane? Kusele kancane. It's just the last mile. All you have to do is to continue to do what you are doing, continue to study, continue to take the extra lessons, Minister, or continue to provide extra lessons. So continue to take those extra lessons up until the last day. It's not difficult. It seems difficult. Nelson Mandela said it always seems impossible until it's done. So I know that where you are now, you are thinking it's difficult, it's the last day, it's the last few papers of my schooling career. But all I can tell you is that the future is very bright for you after you finish your matric. There's so much that you're going to do with your National Senior Certificate after you are done. So study, pass, do yourself proud, your family is proud, and do us as Gauteng proud. We want all of you to pass.
The department says after receiving all the relevant information from provinces, it was a smooth first day of the exams, and they are hopeful it will remain this way for the duration of the examination period. Leading up to the exams and in agreement with the National Senior Certificate Code of Conduct, Grade 12 learners from all 9 provinces signed a pledge and agreed to abide by the rules and regulations of the examinations. Matric learners have now sat for their first exam. The Code of Conduct of the examinations includes that learners must be honest, not cheat or use prohibited material in examination rooms. Provincial education departments across all 9 provinces conducted pledge signing ceremonies to emphasize how the candidates should conduct themselves during this period. Limpopo Education MEC Mabungu Lerule Ramakhanya and Gauteng Education MEC Matume Chilwane motivated learners to adhere to the rules. They were each speaking at their province's pledge signing ceremonies. Lerule Ramakhanya reminded learners of how far they have come and the effort they have put in throughout the years.
We need to step up the game. The class of 2023 should just show the province that if you thought what the class of 2022 did is the best, you'll show us better. I look at you when you walk on a Saturday in a uniform because you want to do extra lessons, and I say, yeah, there's going to be change and there's going to be a spark, but this time, not just a spark that we got with the class of 2022, the class of 2023 will give us a bomb.
While Gauteng Education MEC Matume Chilwane indicated that security measures to ensure learners do not cheat are advanced and reliable.
And what we've done now, in 2023, we've introduced super scanners. These are scanners in examination centers to ensure that we mitigate, those few potential rogue elements who might want to smuggle in cell phones or accidentally. Sometimes the learner forgets that they've got their cell phone in their bag and then they just end. So we're going to introduce those scanners to ensure that they're able to detect any cell phone within the vicinity or being brought within the examination center. In terms of security, we have set up our security systems very well, and that has been demonstrated. Obviously, we're looking to improve on it. From the past examinations, we've not had any leakages, we've not had any potential threats of a leakage. Our security is tight. From where the papers are to the districts, we monitor 24 hours CCTV cameras. Only few will be allowed to access them prior them getting to schools. So it's a tight process, and this process works in what we call JIT, just in time. So everything will move just in time, not earlier, not later, just in time, so that we mitigate any potential threat of leakage or anything rather, of any form of a disruption.
In KwaZulu-Natal, the Education MEC Mbali Fraser has confirmed that as a department they are ready for the 2023 National Senior Certificate Examinations. Fraser highlighted that the department and district have ensured that all necessary processes for a successful examination are put in place. She wished all learners the best, indicating that she hopes the province obtains a 100% pass rate.
The objectives of this plan is to in the main were to improve pass percentage from 83% to a maximum of 100% or a minimum of 85%. All the 12 districts developed their district plans that were informed by the Provincial Academic Improvement Plan. Soon after developing our plans, we wasted no time and we hit the ground running with the implementation of both provincial and district plans. As a province, we always say that our aim and target is to ensure that we pass all candidates who sit for the final examinations, thereby obtaining 100% performance as a province. However, the reality is that there are other factors which sometimes make it difficult to pass all our learners in the system, and that is where we say if we do not attain 100%, we need to ensure that we do not obtain less than 85%.
Now staying in KZN, Basic Education Deputy Minister Dr. Regina Mhaule encouraged learners to make certain that they pass their final year of high school, reminding them that their future is in their hands.
We really wish and pray to God that let all of you pass. When you say you are going to improve by 10%, I was asking myself, whose child must fail? Whose child must fail? Can you really spend 13 years to come and fail?
Staying with pledge signing news, Northern Cape Education MEC Zolile Monakali has pleaded with the community to support matriculants during this time and further advised parents, teachers, and learners to work together in order to achieve positive outcomes.
Local communities are urged to support the 2023 matric candidates by giving them ample time and space to concentrate on their studies during the forthcoming final examinations. It is through teamwork between learners, teachers, parents, and the community at large that the class of 2023 can be successful in the examinations and the future which awaits them. The Northern Cape Department of Education fully supports the class of 2023 and wish them all the best with their final examinations.
Now let's have a listen to what the Department of Basic Education says regarding the examinations, but also what learners should keep in mind during this time.
Hi, so I'm Sibongile Monareng, Director for Psychosocial Support at the National Department of Education. This is very good to talk about because psychosocial support has become very critical generally, but also it's a term that can be bandied about without understanding. So what psychosocial support is about is ensuring that individuals are well emotionally, psychologically, as well as socially and spiritually. And that also applies to our learners. Being the Department of Basic Education, we service vulnerable learners, meaning that it becomes very important for the sector to ensure that we provide services that support our learners and psychologically, and in essence, that's what our program is about. It's bringing the balance into what schools offer. And schools are also seen as vehicles for the provision of different public health services and provision of mental health services and linkages of learners to social services is part of that package of making sure that learners are in a position to do well, making sure that they're functional, right, and they are well and they're doing well, not just academically. One of the things that the sector has done is to try and make sure that there is staff in schools that work with the teachers to provide support to learners. With a lot of the services, psychosocial services that learners require, they have to be referred outside of the school. But what becomes important is that learners that may have psychosocial challenges are identified early and they are then referred accordingly. So our schools would have what we call learner support agents, we have what we call care and support agents, but we also not just place these teams, we make sure that they are capacitated to be able to support learners that have challenges and make sure that they are referred to relevant service providers that provide them with the support that they need. But that's not only what we do, we also focus on promoting wellness, right? Because the ultimate aim is to have psychosocially friendly schools, right? What is a psychosocially friendly school? It's a school where learners feel safe, where there is good communication between teachers and learners. Ultimately, we want our schools to be safe and psychosocially friendly. Okay, so we have different partnerships. We have organizations that specialize in different things, but maybe let me start that we work with health as well as the Department of Social Development. Those are key partners in terms of government departments, but we then also work with non-governmental organizations that support us in various programs. So for instance, we work with organizations that are funded by PEPFAR, USAID, CDC. We work with organizations that are funded by the Global Fund. We work with other organizations like SEDEC as well. Different organizations, anyone that contributes positively to psychosocial support services is a partner for us, and we're constantly reaching out to different stakeholders. So one of the critical areas, like we said, that mental health is a big part of what psychosocial support is making sure that we're doing mental health awareness, right? We need to be sure that we educate our learners about the different mental health conditions, like your depression, like your anxiety, panic attacks, prevention of suicide. So those are the things that we feel we still need to really do a lot of work on, so that our learners are able to identify when they have symptoms, even issues around substance abuse. So one of our focus would be to raise awareness on different mental health conditions. But it's important to also understand that there's a difference between mental illness and mental wellness, right? So one of the things that we want our learners to be resilient. We don't want, if possible, we want to prevent illness, right? So how do we make sure that our learners are resilient? So we need to teach them coping skills. So for instance, when an exam is coming up, it's natural that you have anxiety, but what do you do? What are the things that you can do? Then we're teaching coping skills. We know that young people go through different types of traumas, right? When you've been through a traumatic event, what do you then do to help yourself? Being an adolescent comes with its own special challenges, right? How do you identify that I'm not doing well, and then what is it that you can do? So for us, that's going to be one of the critical things that we want to build resilience in our learners, because some of the things are unavoidable, right? But how can they cope? How can they maintain mental wellness so that we prevent moving from wellness to illness?
In other news, the Department of Basic Education is pleased that the Basic Education Laws Amendment Bill has been passed in the National Assembly. The Bella Bill seeks to, amongst other things, make grade R the new compulsory school starting age. Parents will face penalties for not ensuring their children are in school, and the confirmation that corporal punishment is no longer allowed at schools. It will now go to the National Council of Provinces for concurrence. When we return, we find out more about our very own top 10 finalists of the Global Teacher Prize.
Hey learners in grade R to 11, feeling stuck or confused? Have you lost learning time in the last while? Well, Tswelopele is back to help you catch up. Find resources on the DBE cloud to use and share. Watch support lessons on TV or on our YouTube channel, where you will find exciting lessons in key grade R to 9 subjects. And for grade 10 to 11, have fun learning in many different subjects. Join our community of learners and teachers, parents and caregivers on Facebook, where there are tips and advice for better learning. Need help? Contact us via our WhatsApp line and get support on all your subject problems. Stay connected. You can count on us. Check out our website to find out more at www.tswelopele.org.za. Tswelopele.
Welcome back. The Department of Basic Education is disappointed with the latest research report presented by the Oppenheimer Memorial Trust on the future of education, describing it as weak and misleading. The Education Research Report of the Oppenheimer Memorial Trust focuses on the future of South Africa's education system. It presents several proposals, including weak functionality, weak teacher knowledge, and claims that about 60% of classes are not being taught. The department has pointed out that the report was weak and inaccurate, stating that it relates to teachers who do not show up for a scheduled class, with teachers who teach in their classrooms but not succeeding in covering curriculum content. The DBE expressed concerns on issues such as the exclusion of language and how it impacts on opportunities for learners, for both teachers and learners.
I really want to reiterate our response to the education report released by the Oppenheimer Memorial Trust. because the report focuses on the future of South Africa's education system. It presents several interesting proposals, drawing from research and interviews. However, its diagnosis is in certain aspects inaccurate or one-sided, which weakens the report and the validity of its proposals. So many of the proposals made in the report are drawn straight from the NDP, meaning they are proposals currently being pursued by government to varying degrees of success by government. By not looking beyond NDP, especially the MTSF, which enact and sometimes adapt to the recommendations of the NDP, the Oppenheimer Education Report misses an opportunity to engage more deeply with what government is doing. The weakness of this report, particularly with respect to diagnosis of the problem in the basic education sector, is very deliberate in excluding some of the issues of language and how it impacts on opportunities for learning. A proper desktop review of the complex education system would have ideally extended not just to government documents, but also a critical view of teacher union policies, reviews of the South Africa's education system by global bodies such as the OECD, and how the media covers education. So the Oppenheimer Memorial Trust has therefore missed an opportunity for a meaningful engagement on the current state of education system, and more specifically, the plans that are underway to address various priority areas referred to in the report.
Please note the following story contains graphic content. Gauteng Education MEC Matume Chilwane has appointed Rangata attorneys as the independent law firm to probe the death of Sibusiso Mbatha. The grade 6 learner from Kehlekile Primary School has been laid to rest after he died by suicide. The 12-year-old was a learner at the primary school. The law firm now has 5 days to investigate the circumstances surrounding the learner's death.
We've put a call center with a number 116. Behind the phone, there are professionals, psychologists, social workers, all of them are behind that call center. We put it in place. We have partnered with many NPOs to work with us to ensure that we prevent our learners committing suicide. But some still are committing suicide for a number of reasons. We can't all assume that perhaps this is a special case that we are talking to, but there are various factors that have led our kids committing suicide across, and it's a big concern for us as a department, as a province. So the recommendation, I would really like to know what would they have found out that could have led to our child taking his life, and more importantly, to also give peace to the family, to the learner population of the school, and the province at large.
The firm says they will try to stick to the 5 days and provide the necessary answers to the family and the community at large.
At this point in time, it's difficult to say we'll seek extension, but you can't say I will not seek or I will, but we want to keep to this 5-day process. Why? Because this is an issue that touches everybody. It's not only this community, it's not only the brand GDE, but it's the whole country where learners are placed in a school which is a place of safety, and there's an allegation that something happened. So we want to provide answers so that there's no speculation, so that there are no stories that are competing in the media and in the communities. So basically that's what was going to happen, and once the report has been received, it will then follow the process of being processed by the department.
Meanwhile, in a bid to create mental health awareness as learners write their final exams, the South African Depression and Anxiety Group advised learners to think positively and not be hard on themselves. The group outlines numerous study tips, such as time management, healthy eating, and studying to understand, saying that this will assist in avoiding feeling anxious and nervous during this crucial time. In commemoration of the International Month of the Girl Child, the Department of Basic Education, Unilever and Dove collaborated to celebrate and empower young girls at Kayamandi Secondary School in the Western Cape. The theme of the commemoration was Invest in Girls' Rights, Our Leadership, Our Well-Being, which addresses unique challenges girls face while advocating for the full spectrum of girls' rights. Basic Education Deputy Minister Dr. Regina Mahaule encouraged the community to be aware of matters relating to the rights of girls and promote a culture of leadership and agency among young women and girls. Part of the commemoration included introducing learners to the Dove Self-Esteem Project, which encourages young people to overcome anxiety and understand media influence on body image, improving their body confidence and self-esteem. We end this bulletin on an exciting and positive note. Basic Education's E-Cubed Best Teacher Award winner for the year 2021, Dr. Mariette Wheeler, is a top 10 finalist of the 2023 Global Teacher Prize. The Global Teacher Prize recognizes and celebrates teachers worldwide and seeks to acknowledge best teachers and their impact, not only on their learners, but the community around them. Dr. Wheeler was nominated by the Basic Education Minister, Angie Motshekga. Her nomination was influenced by her role in the community and innovative ideas she brings in the classroom. Dr. Wheeler expressed her excitement and appreciation, emphasizing that this opportunity will empower her learners. She encouraged teachers to keep improving the quality of education through opportunities presented to them.
I'm super excited to represent South Africa there. It is a real privilege to be able to network, not just for myself, but also for my learners. Yesterday, when it was announced, my grade 10 marine sciences was in the class along with me, and the joy on their faces equaled the joy that I felt in my heart. And I hope that I can bring this joy also to South Africa. To the teachers of South Africa, keep on the amazing work that you are doing every day in your class. Remember to collaborate and to find opportunities, because there are so many opportunities and your learners will benefit from it.
And so that's how we end this bulletin this week on the Department of Basic Education's YouTube channel and on OpenView, channel 122. Do send through your story ideas or comments, and you can contact us on X at DBE TV News, Facebook, DBE TV News. Thank you for watching.